welcome you inside our Sportsnet LA studio, joined today by Tim Cates and James Loney. It was Game 5 for the Dodgers today in Arizona. This one was all Cincinnati Reds, Tim, but a lot of the big names on the Dodgers pitching side, we finally saw them making their spring debuts today, getting some work in.
Yeah, 8 different pitchers, and it was good to see the bullpen get a lot of activity this afternoon, and guys who we're going to see an awful lot in 2025.
Yeah, obviously seeing Glasnow back out there, you know, the stuff's always there. I mean, the hits that he gave up were just fastballs up. Only one ball really hit hard in the gap, but we'll take that day from him.
All right, speaking of Tyler Glasnow, he saw his first game action since last August 11th, and he talked about it afterwards with Kirsten Watson.
Just to get out there, get an inning of work, how did it feel on the mound?
Good. It was nice to be back out there. It's been a while. It's been in an actual game. I felt sharp. I felt good.
Dave was talking earlier about just kind of managing, obviously, the work you've been doing this offseason, looking to be kind of more in that athletic kind of body work and mindset. How did you feel just putting it out there and playing in a game with some of those adjustments you've made?
It felt really good. I didn't think about it. I think that's kind of more for practice. I think it is, Dave hit on it, but a theme of just like, I'm going to try and work on when I go out to the game, just be as athletic as I can. And I looked at a little video, looked good. I didn't think about it, and the mechanics felt solid.
Like, are the mechanics this year for you just kind of like mentally when you're pitching? Like, has it felt like a big change, or is it just kind of more subtle stuff? Like,
not a huge change. It's more just like how I land, and I don't want to be like super open. It's really not like a huge difference. It's just like a small step for a healthier kind of towards the catcher mechanics, I guess. Yeah. Sweet.
Is it always like, I mean, for bigger body guys, like, there's a challenge of syncing everything up. Is that kind of like the mentality of not trying to think about that too much?
Yeah, I think once you put like a conscious thought into it, there's always some sort of delay with mechanics. So I think it's fine in practice when I'm working on stuff. I'm not moving full speed, but once I get into the game, just try to forget about it. And like, even I think today when no one was on, I felt great. And then when a guy got on first, I hadn't like done much of a quick step in a while, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta like. So I think there was a little bit more kind of figuring that out, but in a whole, everything was good.
Was there a sense of being more anxious to get to camp and to get into these games after the way the season ended for you and not being part of that run?
Kinda. I'm always like trying to get back. I think it's kind of like summer break when you're like, oh, okay, we have time off, and then time goes on. I'm like, I want to go back, and I'm bored. I want to go pitch. So I've always been pretty like ready to come back quick. But it's been nice, and I'm glad I can pitch this spring. It's been a while.
When you pitch an inning in the game and then you go into the bullpen, would you rather be in the game, or does it serve a purpose to throw in the bullpen?
I think it serves a purpose. I'd rather be in the game, but I don't know if I'm like the best person to ask. I think they were like, go throw, finish it in the bullpen, you know. But yeah, I think they're both going getting a second inning or going out there. I think the mechanics are still synced up. You're still hot. So even when I went out there, like the same stuff I felt, it felt similar to the game. So I think what I needed to work on, I could work on out there.
With a few weeks left in camp, is there anything you're hoping to kind of just like do these next 2 weeks? Especially, I know that the plan's not for you to be pitching in a regular season game in Tokyo, but just how are you kind of approaching just closing out this time here in Arizona?
I think just the only difference between this year and the other years, I think, is like to practice those changes, and then I think have that separation from game to practice and just be an athlete, kind of like we talked about. But business as usual, and just try to stay healthy, work with the guys here, and just kind of treat it like another season.
Have they left that door open for you that you may pitch in Tokyo?
I don't know. I haven't really talked to them about it. I'm still just, I'll go after I throw a couple more innings and stuff. Maybe we'll figure it out. But right now, I'm just kind of thinking about just the few I have coming up.
Tyler Glasnow coming off that elbow tendonitis, which ended his 2024 season in August. We heard him talking about making those small mechanical changes in the offseason, James, which he hopes will keep him healthy and effective all season long. Today, he showed flashes of that dominant stuff, gave up the 3 straight hits, but he talked about it afterwards. He was watching video, and he said it looked good mechanically, and he felt good.
Yeah, I mean, he's an innings eater. You know, he's an ace. He's a guy that wants the ball to save that bullpen for later in the season. And I feel like he's a guy that he needs to attack with his fastball early on. We saw it to start the game, because in that curveball right there, you see it's so devastating. It falls right off the table. Right there, he left the fastball up. You know, like I said, it was only really hard ball that got hit all day. But if he can use that fastball, I think it's going to actually keep him healthier, because a lot of guys, they want to throw breaking balls so much, so early in the count. And he's a guy that doesn't need that. Mid to high 90s, throw that curveball when you need to. And I think that will actually help keep him healthier.
Without using the word mechanics, he looked fluid out there. He looked like he was comfortable. It looked easy for him out there. He wasn't struggling. Also, he wasn't thinking, and that's something that he always worries about his mechanics. There I go, I said the M word. But he's very much thinking about it all the time, and Dave Roberts and the coaching staff are trying to get him to stop thinking as much out there. You're an athlete, you're talented, you got the arm, go out and throw.
That's one of those things, James, that now that you've taken up golf in the last couple of years, when you get on the golf course, you can't think about all the mechanics of the swing. You have to go play golf and not play golf swing, and it's similar when you're pitching out there.
Yeah, you heard him say, like, in practice, you know, it can be a conscious thought, right? It can be a situation where you're working on things and you have a little more time to think about things, but when you're on this field out there, it's got to be unconscious. Your body's just got to kind of flow into it. Yeah, it's somewhere in the back of your brain, but it's really a flow state that when you hear that the greats are really in, even some of the hitters, they're like, man, when they say see ball, hit the ball, that's what they're feeling, but they're getting their body into a position to do that.
All right. Cincinnati Reds take this one by the final of 8-1. Let's go back to Arizona and hear from the skipper, Dave Roberts, with Kirsten Watson.
Well, Dave, today we saw a lot of key arms in this game. Let's start with Tyler Glasnow. This spring there's been a lot of talk about how he's come in, made a few minor mechanical changes, more of an athletic delivery. How did you see him put him into play in this game?
I thought Tyler was good today. Certainly out of the windup, I thought he was really good. I thought he was in his delivery, and then once we got that flare base hit and then the ground ball, and I think once he got in the stretch, he started to get a little disjointed with the delivery, and obviously in spring training he hasn't had any opportunity to work on that, but I think where he's at right now, I couldn't be more happy.
Yeah, and then of course saw a lot of arms out of the bullpen. We could go through the list, but what were you kind of seeing, just getting eyes on some of those guys, especially some of the newer faces, whether it's a Kirby Yates or a Tanner Scott?
I thought they were both fine. You know, obviously Tanner gave up a homer today. I thought the stuff was good. I thought Kirby was good, efficient. So I think those guys are where they need to be. Obviously seeing Alex looked very sharp today. And I thought Blake was fine. So gave up a homer, but, you know, Arizona, that's kind of part of it. But again, I thought all of our guys looked good today. And yeah, you know, Teoscar, we got him in there. He looks good, taking good at bats, and yeah.
With Eddie Rosario, we obviously know what he has done in the postseason to this team, but to see him now on this side, to see him in spring, how impressed have you been with just how he's been able to perform on the field with this team?
I love where he's at. I think Eddie's a guy that the last couple years is sort of off the radar, and he's trying to find his way back, betting on himself. He looks good. We know that he can hit a fastball. So to get him in camp, I'm trying to give him as many opportunities as possible, and he's showing out right now.
All right, thanks so much, Dave.
All right, Kirsten.
All right, here we go. Dodgers taking on the Cincinnati Reds. A road game for the Dodgers. Tyler Glasnow, James, you were talking about him. Started off really well. He gets TJ Friedl looking.
Yeah, this about was a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Way to sit him down. And I like how the catcher's set up there. I know it's a little bit more in the middle, but great pitch.
And then back-to-back strikeouts. He gets Matt McLain.
Yeah, working the off-speed pitches early in spring. It must be good for Tyler Glasnow to go out there and finally pitch since August 11th. Last time we saw him.
2 down for Elly De La Cruz, and that is a base hit.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen to a 3-hole hitter, especially named Elly De La Cruz. You know, this guy loves those pitchers right in the middle of the plate, so good piece of hitting right there.
Tyler Stevenson, not hard hit, but that's going to drop in for a base hit. De La Cruz over to third. And then runners on the corners for Cincinnati, and Austin Hayes, the one guy the Dodgers pitchers could not get out all day. It's a shot to the gap in right center. This one's going to go off the wall.
Nice job by James Outman, trailing the play. Didn't hit the cutoff guy, but nice defensive effort there to make sure you hold him to a double and throw him out at third while he's trying to stretch it to a triple.
With a 2-run score, the 2-out, 2-run double. Top of the third, it's McLain leading it off. The Dodgers, McLain, Sean McLain. Yes, they are brothers, James, and that's extra bases.
Yeah, you know, trying to show the brother, hey, I can play too. You know, I remember 81 on my, or was it 88 right there on my back, but, you know, I'm still representing.
A few batters later, Eddie Rosario, base hit to right field. Dodgers on the board.
I think we better keep an eye on Eddie Rosario. I don't know where he fits into this puzzle of the roster opening day, but a name to keep an eye on in the spring he's having.
Take another look at that swing. Saw a lot of that in that 2021 NLCS, unfortunately, when he was with the Braves. Spotted third, Kirby Yates. His first action, Matt McLain. Yeah, there's that changeup.
I love the Kirby Yates changeup right there, and I love his mechanics. He kind of lures you to sleep. He's kind of upright pitcher, but he gets that changeup to fall right out the bottom of the plate.
He's going to get De La Cruz as well. To hit one over to CT. So nice, clean inning for Kirby Yates. Bottom of the fourth, Tanner Scott takes over after a leadoff walk. It's that guy, Austin Hayes. He's a problem today, and he's going to take Tanner Scott deep. 2-run shot.
Yeah, leave it up in the zone. Bad things happen. What a day for Austin Hayes.
No relation to Willie Mays Hayes. 2-run bomb. Makes it 4-1, Cincinnati. Next batter is Jamer Candelario. And Scott gets him. That's nasty.
Yeah, that's that nasty slider right there. As a hitter, you don't have time to say, is this a strike or a ball? You're in protect mode right there. We're going to see that a lot this year.
This is weird. Gavin Lux in the Cincinnati Reds uniform. Called strike 3 there. Scott gets him.
Nasty pitch to get Gavin.
Jose Trevino, a former Yankee catcher, flies out to end the inning.
What a 3-2 changeup. Get a guy to hit it off the end of the bat, get out of trouble.
Top of the fifth. It's Chris Taylor at the plate. Dodgers were really struggling early in this game, just making contacts. That's a called strike 3 on Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, you just talked about the 3-2 change, the 3-2 breaking ball. Spring training did not used to be this hard. You used to get fastballs in 3-2 counts.
Dodgers struck out 16 times today. Blake Trinan comes in. Friedel. That's a Sun double. James Outman can't come up with it.
Not a bad pitch from Blake Trinan. Should be an out. It's an out most of the time. A fluke Sun double, but good job by Blake Trinan to enforce that and get that contact.
And with that runner on second base, McClain knocks him in. So the Reds take advantage of the misfortune for the Dodgers. 5-1. Stevenson hits it to the Dodgers. McClain. Look at this play, James, in the hole. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right there.
Wow.
That's Derek Jeter-esque without the jump. You know, that's just great arm strength right there and awareness to get rid of it. And I love that, you know, he's taking that angle. That's really how you make that play. You got to take that deep angle.
Austin Hayes, again, probably wants to save these for the regular season.
It's an Arizona error. It must be how that ball got out of there, because on contact, it looked like it's a fly ball to right center field. Well, maybe he actually did get a pretty good swing on it.
Well, it's his second home run of the game. He had 6 RBIs. Top of the sixth, it's James Outman. 3-2 pitch, drilled to center field.
Yeah, good to see James Outman right there with the timing. That fastball's middle away. You know, a lot of times you get those 3-2 counts, and you know you're kind of in like in a swing mode, protect mode, but good job for him to stay on it, stay up the middle. Looking for him to do some big things.
Good to see that kind of result from James Outman. He, too, made some mechanical changes to his swing during the offseason. Bottom of the sixth, Alex Vesia, the parade of Dodgers talented relievers continues, and Vesia works a 1-2-3 inning.
Nasty from Alex Vesia, who looks a little thinner here in 2025. Coming out of the Dodgers bullpen, just another arm. I mean, this bullpen is going to be absolutely filthy.
Dodgers dropped this one 8-1. Tyler Glasnow gave up 2 runs on 3 hits in his 1 inning of work. He did punch out 2 guys. Anthony Bond allowed a single and a walk, but no runs. Perfect inning for Kirby Yates. Tanner Scott, 2 runs, 2 strikeouts in his 1 inning. And Blake Trinan, hurt by that Sun double, then gave up the home run. He allowed 3 runs. Right now, let's go back inside the Dodgers clubhouse to Arizona. Tanner Scott with Kirsten and the media.
Well, Tanner, just first spring outing, how did it feel just kind of get out there, get off the mound, and how things have been going this spring?
Well, the spring's been good. The first outing, I wish it would have went a little better, and I wish Hayes wouldn't have hit a home run off me, and I wouldn't have walked the first guy. But first game, the next one, I'm looking forward to the next one and just move forward.
What's been the focus for you just this spring?
Attack the zone and not walk people, and I started off too early with a walk, and it hurt me. So, I mean, that's just my main focus, just make sure I'm throwing strikes and getting people out.
Obviously, there's been a lot of excitement with you coming to this organization, with getting to know the pitching coaches over here, kind of learning how they go about things. What has that transition just been like for you?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, right when I came out, I was talking to Connor and Mark, and I mean, I'm looking forward tomorrow to play catch and fix whatever I was doing wrong today, and go out there and just attack the next game.
Well, we look forward to seeing you do just that. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here's what's ahead on the Cactus League calendar. Noon starts the next 3 days. Friday, our first Cactus League game under the lights this spring when the Dodgers host the Angels. Be sure to join us for highlights and reaction after the games. And reminder, every single game from Arizona can be seen right here on Sportsnet LA. Ahead on Access, much more from today's game in Goodyear, Arizona, including my spring conversation with today's starting pitcher Tyler Glasnow on why his success is all about mechanics. Plus, Michael Conforto enters his 10th MLB season, but first with the Dodgers. Coming up, we get connected with the outfielder from Seattle, Washington.
これからのシーズン、一緒にこの興奮を楽しみましょう。ついに2025年シーズンの幕が開き、ロサンゼルス、ドジャースはまた新たな伝説を刻む準備が整いました。昨シーズンのワールドシリーズ制覇に続き、このオフシーズンはまさに歴史に残る補強が行われ、ドジャースはまるでドリームチームのような豪華な顔ぶれとなりました。すでにファンの期待は最高潮に達し、シーズンが始まる前から今年もドジャースが優勝するのではないかという声が至るところで聞かれます。それだけ今回のチーム編成は圧倒的な強さを誇っているのです。今シーズンドジャースが迎え入れた新たな顔ぶれはどの選手も輝かしい実績を持つ名選手ばかりです。マイケル、コンフォルト、キム、ヘソン、ロキ、佐々木、ブレイク、スネル、そして昨シーズン活躍したブレイク、トレイネンやテオスカ、ヘルナンデスなど、どの選手もこれまでのキャリアで確かな実力を示してきました。すでに実績のある選手がさらに力をつけ、そこに新たな才能が加わることで、ドジャースの戦力は飛躍的に向上しました。特にロキ、佐々木は、日本のプロ野球で圧倒的なピッチングを見せてきた若き才能であり、今シーズン、メジャーリーグでどれだけのインパクトを残せるのか、大きな注目を集めています。彼の強し速球と正確な制球力がドジャースの投手陣に新たな可能性をもたらすことでしょう。そして今日の試合では何といってもダスティン・メイの復活が最も大きな話題となりました。彼はトミー・ジョン手術を2度受け、さらに食道の緊急手術まで経験しながらも再びマウンドに戻ってきました。復帰戦での投球は見事で、わずか1イニングとはいえ彼が完全復活を果たしつつあることを証明しました。長いリハビリ期間を乗り越えた彼の姿には多くのファンが胸を熱くし、球場全体が感動に包まれました。彼の復帰はチームにとっても大きな意味を持ちます。今シーズン彼がどのようなピッチングを見せるのか大いに期待されます。またタイラー・グラスノーも今シーズンに向けて完全復活を誓いました。彼は昨シーズンワールドシリーズ制覇という大きな成果を手にしたものの、個人的には悔しさの残るシーズンでした。シーズン途中まで圧倒的な投球を見せながらも、肘の炎症により8月にシーズンを終えることになった彼は、ポストシーズンでチームを助けることができませんでした。しかし、その悔しさを胸に、今シーズンこそはフルシーズンを戦い抜き、チームの勝利に貢献するという強い決意を持っています。彼の言葉からは、自分自身の限界を超えてさらに成長しようという意志が伝わってきます。そして、忘れてはならないのが、翔平、大谷の存在です。今シーズン、彼は投手としての登板が制限されるものの、そのバッティングの力は変わらず健在です。ドジャースの先発ローテーションは、5人のエースが揃った、とまで言われるほどの超強力布陣となり、彼が完全復活した時には、まさに歴史に残る最強の投手陣となることでしょう。彼の二刀流が再びメジャーの舞台で輝く日が来ることを、ファンは今か今かと待ち望んでいます。このように、ドジャースのチームは今、かつてないほどの強さを誇っています。しかし、それだけではありません。このチームの最大の強みは、選手同士の強い絆と、勝利への飽くなき執念です。ドジャースの選手たちは、ただ優れた個人が集まっただけのチームではなく、優勝するために一つになったチームなのです。昨年のワールドシリーズを制した時、デーブ・ロバーツ監督は、これほど結束力の強いチームは見たことがない、と語りました。今年も、その団結力は変わらず、むしろさらに強まっていると感じられます。選手たちは互いに刺激を与え合い、競争しながらも、同じ目標に向かって突き進んでいます。勝利は偶然ではなく、準備と努力の結果である。この言葉の通り、ドジャースの選手たちは日々のトレーニングや試合の中で、確実に実力を積み上げています。ポジションプレイヤーたちは試合前の練習を欠かさず、ピッチャー陣はより精度の高い投球を目指してフォームを調整し続けています。このようなチームの努力の積み重ねが、最終的にシーズンの結果につながっていくのです。ファンの皆さんにとっても、今シーズンは特別な1年になることでしょう。 昨年の優勝の喜びを再び味わうために、そしてさらに新たな歴史を作るために、ドジャースを全力で応援しましょう。今後の試合では、さらに新しいヒーローが誕生し、ドラマチックな瞬間が次々と生まれるはずです。その全てを見逃さないように、試合の一つ一つをしっかりと見届けていきましょう。最後に、ドジャースの最新情報、試合の分析、選手のインタビューなど、今後もたくさんの情報をお届けしていきます。試合の感想や気になったことなど、ぜひコメント欄でシェアしてください。皆さんの応援が、ドジャースの大きな力になります。このチームの戦いを見逃したくない方は、ぜひチャンネル登録をお願いします。これからのシーズンも、皆さんと一緒にドジャースの歴史的な瞬間を楽しんでいきましょう。それでは、また次回お会いしましょう。